Alright, hello everybody. This is something that has been a long time coming. Oh boy! It's time for my review of Nancy Drew Midnight in Salem. And yeah, I'm hesitant to start for some reason. You saw my short version a while back. I did it actually live on air on radio. But this one is in a more controlled environment. I'm sitting in a quote-unquote studio recording this. Listening to Shadow Ranch background music that you may or may not be able to hear depending on what I decide in editing. But that's digressing. Let's actually talk about the game now, shall we? So, Midnight in Salem. The highly anticipated 33rd, I believe. 33rd? Yes, 33rd game in the Nancy Drew series. We waited like a long time for that game. To give context, I was 16 when the last game came out. Now 21 when Midnight came out. So my teen years, I could have enjoyed playing that game, are gone. I'm an adult now, living adult life. And that's the first strike against the game. It took forever to come out. And I mean literally forever. And was it a good product? That's the next item on the docket. Was it a good game? Worth the wait and the switch to the Unity engine? No, it wasn't. And we're gonna take however long it takes to tell you why it's not a good game and what they should have done to fix it. You may have heard some of these already in my 3-minute rants from my actual Let's Play of Midnight in Salem, so I apologize in advance if some things may repeat. So first things off, let's start right. I'm starting to get livid again, or angry. So, let's get through this before I explode or something. On the day that the game came out, Her Interactive had given me an early access promo key to use on that day, so that I could have first access and get one of the first videos and live streams up and going about it. Well, first of all, the key did not come in on the morning of the release. So, I had to wait till the afternoon to actually go and be able to download the game. Only defense I can think of is Her Interactive is on Pacific time and I live in the Eastern time zone. But then, here it takes like an hour to download the game from Steam. Because that's where they had given me the key for Steam. And it took forever to download. And then when it actually did download, I have my live stream all ready to go. So we can just like hop into this game right off the bat. And the game crashes on the first time I try and launch it. I have a recording somewhere actually of that experience. And then when I actually do get it to go, it's like this big laggy mess that didn't have time to troubleshoot because I had to go to dinner and then I actually had to go to work. So, and I had set off like 3 hours a 3-hour time block in the afternoon to get through the game. And I wasted the first hour waiting for it to download, and I wasted at least another half hour trying to get the game to run smoothly, which it never did. I had to literally like go troubleshoot it later that night to get it to work properly after work. And then I was so upset that I was like, forget it. I don't care that I got this free game from Her Interactive. I'm gonna wait for the game I bought. I bought the physical copy before they offered me the early access one. I'm gonna wait for my physical copy to go and play the game. So I did. I waited. I went back to school and work. I worked. I did school. I took my finals. And then I went back to my house. Am I gonna lose my voice doing this? I might. It's been 5 minutes already. Yeah, and I get the game at home. And I see the case. And it looks a little something like this. Not the lovely music. Look at the case. Please. It doesn't even say Midnight Salem. You can barely see. Can you? I'm not looking at the picture right now because I'm doing this commentary separately from adding the graphics, but there's not even a title Midnight Salem under it. It's just Nancy Drew. Okay. Yeah. Then I took the discount and installed the game. So, now my own copy, not the Steam copy, is installed. Okay, so now let's actually play the game. I played the game. And probably the line that made me the most upset, as well as every single Nancy Drew fan in the world, had to be this one.
Feels like ages since I was on my last adventure.
No kidding, Nancy! Oh! You don't say! You don't say! I hope this room is soundproof, because there are neighbors that might be disturbing right now. Oh, yeah, that was invigorating. Is that the right word? Well, I'll find out later. And this is the first room. We haven't gotten past the first room of the game yet, and we're 7 minutes into this review. So, now, I'm going to just keep playing a little bit. Keep playing. I'm starting to learn the new controls, and honestly wishing they had ditched the point-and-click controls in favor of the kind of investigation that Sherlock Holmes uses, where it's free roam, WASD controls, and that was the biggest highlight of Sherlock Holmes. Well, I guess you can count the Mind Palace, but yeah. And then I realized, you know, I'm already stuck because I can't figure out how to leave this room. And they introduce all these cool, like, 3D controls to try and help you search the environment. But they don't tell you that what you actually have to do is find this tiny little key that's just, like, down at the corner of the desk. And I forget if I actually had to look at the guide to find that or not. I don't remember. But, yeah, you find the key, and then you have to actually use the new 3D investigation mechanic, which isn't used again for at least another hour or two of gameplay. Actually, that might be that time it's used, and one other time later in the game. So I used that. Finally get out of this first room. Some stuff happens involving a chase through the woods. I actually did think that was pretty awesome. And then Deirdre calls. Deirdre. Oh, happy music. Because, yeah, Deirdre. Let's talk about Deirdre for a little bit. Deirdre is, hands down, the best part of Midnight Salem. I wasn't that big a fan of Deirdre when she appeared in Alibi in Ashes, or Deadly Device for that matter. But she's grown a lot as a character since then. She is honestly more relatable now. And I didn't used to get upset or like hate Nancy in the older games, but with the new voice and the new like gameness, I kind of was starting to hate Nancy. So it was great having Deirdre there to also hate Nancy and be a great companion. She follows you around for the first day of the game, and it's great hearing her extra comments. I honestly wish Deirdre followed us around for the entire game. That would have been a great move. Like, this game is known for making great moves. They kept Deirdre's voice actress the same, so going back to play the older games, honestly, yeah. I replayed Alibi in Ashes over the past summer, and I think Midnight Salem Deirdre is way better than Alibi Deirdre. Because it's hard to like Alibi Deirdre. Really is, but it is not hard at all to like Midnight Salem, Deirdre. Like, not at all hard. Amazing. That's enough about Deirdre. Where I had a whole PowerPoint ready with notes to remind me of stuff. We're on characters. Yeah. So characters. Yeah, memorable characters. Deirdre's. That's it. I don't. Honestly, none of the other characters in this game are memorable, and there was like 9, 15, I think. I don't even remember. Ugh, I had this email from Her Interactive somewhere. I can actually look this up as we go. Her Interactive, Midnight. I should have had this prepared. And Salem chart. Maybe this will come up really quickly and I can... Unless, of course, I realize now I'm connected to the cruddy internet, so that's not gonna roll all that well. And then this... No, what is this? Nope, none of these charts are what I want. Okay. Well, you'll see the chart eventually, I'm sure. The chart has the list of how many characters are in this game compared to the other games. There's a bunch of other stuff we're gonna get to in a few minutes. But characters are unmemorable. Yeah, that's that. And speaking of characters, they have some terrible, like really terrible character animations in that game. And I'm not trying to exaggerate, but they are really bad. I mean, if you played Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, you might remember the storyteller. He just like put his hand over his face at one point, and it makes sense there because he was like, my hands feel like smell like shampoo. That's fun to say, shampoo. But when it comes to Midnight Salem, all the characters randomly do the shampoo hand, and then they just randomly shoot their arm into the air for no apparent reason. And this feels like something that should have been ironed out during beta for this game. Did we get a beta version of this game? I swear. We might have gotten a beta version of this game. It makes sense because I had a softlock in the game once. Just downright terrible. And then, where do I want to go from here? Let me think. Well, I'll give it one bit of niceness here. The environments actually did look pretty nice. That brings me to another thing about character animation, though, because there's just one chick that's just standing by a bunch of hay bales outside the town hall. And she sounds like an android. Not even a cool android, but just a terrible, broken down, robotic android from Detroit Become Human. Oh my gosh, is Detroit Become Human actually better than Midnight in Salem? That's something to think about. Yeah, we're gonna think about that for a little bit. Is Detroit better or worse? I mean, Detroit already has David Cage going against it, but Midnight in Salem has Penny going against it. Alright. I believe one thing I never really mentioned in the walkthrough I made, but I should mention is that this is something that they've really worked hard on their proprietary engine, whatever you say. They really worked hard to get characters to have better facial expressions and look more realistic. And they did a pretty good job. They had a bit of a rough patch for a while in terms of graphics, but then they really got themselves together and they look like actual characters. There's a funny story I could tell, but it's best saved for another time. These characters really didn't have... The characters in the Midnight Salem, I should say, did not really have these extra expression things to them. They were just kind of meh in terms of being able to express themselves. And this is something that someone told me I need to bring up somehow in this review, and I've managed to do it. The characters' facial expressions are about on par with the facial expressions in the Hardy Boys The Hidden Theft. Hardy Boys The Hidden Theft, the only facial expression you got was the mouth moving. And that's about what they did in Midnight Salem. I did it, you're happy. Good, because we're not done. There's a bit more we need to talk about from comparing Hidden Theft to Midnight Salem, and that would be the cooking minigame. Do you remember the cooking minigame on day 2 of the Midnight Salem? Where we have to make hot cakes with the Hardy Boys? So, I was doing some research for this game and looking through different images of like the different puzzles. And I found one image for the cooking minigame, and I had to double check the source because I swear it looked exactly like the French toast minigame from Hardy Boys The Hidden Theft. Not even joking. I mean, those two were basically interchangeable. I can put them up side by side. This music's too dramatic. Or maybe it's not because I'm starting to get riled up. You can put those two images side by side and see that the game looks basically the same in both. I'm not even exaggerating here. You could do that. I did that for you. Look. I used to always look down on the Hardy Boys The Hidden Theft because while it had some good elements to it, it was no Nancy Drew. Holy mother of... wow. There's actually more similar between these two games than I originally thought. Oh no. Oh, we might need to make an extra video here. Okay, so comparing Hardy Boys The Hidden Theft and Nancy Drew Midnight Salem. So, first things first, character expressions. We've already went over that. Second things second. Cooking minigame. Was the same. Basically, yeah. Third things third! I just now realized that the cell phone mechanics in both those games is basically the same. Because in Midnight Salem, they move the task list to your cell phone and ditch the journal. In Hidden Theft, the journal and task lists are on your cell phone. And that was basically it. You could make calls, but that was it. The most basic cell phone-y stuff. Yeah, Midnight Salem gets 1 extra point for having a camera phone. But the camera phone is useless because you cannot take pictures of a zoomed in scene. It'll automatically bump you out. So there's a clue like really zoomed in you need to take a picture of. Oh, you're back to writing them by hand. Because you can't do that. You can't do a zoom in picture. Ugh. Voice acting, I don't know. Maybe it's on par, maybe it's not. Who knows? Hindev gets points because they had Leia Lane Baker on their team. As well as Janet McCarthy, I think. I don't know. I don't remember the cast. Guess she looked it up. Hardy Boys, Hidden Theft, cast. Jesse McCartney, I'm sorry. And then Cody Lindley, whoever that is. This game is on IMDb somehow. Midnight Salem on IMDb. Midnight in Salem IMDb. Yeah, Midnight Salem's on IMDb too. What do you know? Alrighty. This music is getting really good, and I think it means it's actually time for me to move on to something else that I don't like about the game. Listen. Alright, I'm gonna be quiet. Listen to this song. Great song, right? Yeah, it's great. There is no amazing music in Midnight in Salem. Right now we're listening to a song from Danger on Deception Island, which was a game made a long time ago. And then Midnight in Salem was made now. So you can see how far the music has come from something amazing like this to what you know the music in Midnight in Salem sounds like. I don't want to stop this song because it's so amazing to play a Midnight in Salem song. You know what? We're going to stop it. Hang on. There is one Midnight in Salem song I need to show you. If I still have it. I probably should have checked. I do have it. This is probably the most memorable Midnight in Salem song there is. It's called the Party Song. At least that's what I've called it. And it plays at the end of the game when we're all just at that party celebrating. It's only memorable because it sounds like Ellie Goulding wrote it. Even that over there. Yeah! What do you think of that? Okay, that's hurting my ears now. Let's go back to Deception Island. Alrighty. So that's the music, yeah. That's another thing that doesn't make any sense. So, the first 25 games from Secrets Can Kill through Alibi and Ashes had Kevin Manthe. I think that's how you say his name. Someone can I'm gonna have to get someone to correct my pronunciation, probably. He is known for doing a lot of great music. I can bring up a list of his credits really quickly, actually. I'm fine being quiet here because this song is awesome. So yeah, got a list of his credits here on his page. He's known for doing music for Justice League, The New Frontier, Batman, Gotham City. He did music for Ultimate Spider-Man, Redemption High. He did the music for the Scream trilogy. He did Terminator 3. He did the Spy Kids movie. That's not that amazing, actually. He did the music for Johnny Test, Invader Zim, Robot Chicken, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, FX the series, whatever the heck that is. Transformers: Robots in Disguise. I forgot he did the music for Ben 10. He did music for a bunch of really terrible video games. He did music for The Sims 2. Trying to see if there's anything. Deer Hunt Challenge. I don't really think anyone cares. He did the next Tetris. He did Civilization 2. I think that's still a game people talk about, right? Alright. But there you have it. That's a short list of his credits. And they fired him! They got rid of him in lieu of a guy named Thomas Regin, a member of the North by Sound Production Company. He does music for mostly hidden object puzzle adventure games. A couple notable credits of his are Emerald City Confidential and the Blackwall series. Besides that, well, I guess he did do Awakening. He did the first Awakening game. Does anyone remember Awakening? Probably not. That's an awesome game you should play. But yeah. I mean, you've been hearing, all the music I played so far, minus the party song, has been worked by Kevin Manthe. Oh boy. And there's a lot of more awesome music by him that we're going to probably get to as this review progresses. It's been 24 minutes, and there's still more to talk about. Because I haven't even gotten to puzzles yet. Let's talk about puzzles. Do you remember puzzles from Nancy Drew Games? They're known for being insanely difficult. And... sorry, I'm getting mesmerized by the music again. The Nancy Drew puzzles are known for being insanely difficult and insanely hard to figure out. And at the same time, they're incredibly memorable. Take, for example, Phantom of Venice. I'm going to try and name 3 puzzles off the top of my head. The Dancing Cat, the Mosaic Puzzle, and the Sewers. There's also Scopa, the Filing Machine Puzzle. And oh, Zatera. There's Zatera in there too. That's a lot of puzzles, and I forgot lock picking. There's lock picking too, and there's a dress up mini game where you can dress yourself up in different disguises. Okay, this is too creepy. Let's play something else. There's that, and then let's not forget. That actually might be all the ones I want to mention. And then you come to Midnight Salem, and the most memorable mini-game in that game, unfortunately for them, has got to be the Johnny Cakes. They're called Johnny Cakes, not Hot Cakes. That's got to be the most memorable thing so far. Isn't that just sad? That's what I remember most. Yeah, it is. I'm trying to think of other puzzles, and there's only 3 others I remember. 2 others, actually. The weird floor puzzle that you can somehow die while solving. And then there's the puzzle box at the end of the game. And that's about it. Speaking of dying, there's only 3 ways you can die, which is a broken promise. In her interactive letter to the fans, they promised more ways to fail and die will be coming in Midnight Salem. And they didn't deliver on that. Why didn't they deliver on that? Her interactive lying people. Yeah, there's a bunch of other broken promises I don't remember off the top of my head. Longer game, longer and bigger game. Alright, so let's take a field trip, people, to speedrun.com.
Seatbelts, everyone! Please let this be a normal field trip. With a friend? No way!
Alright, so speedrun.com is loading. I'm on the cruddy internet, so it's a little slow. Let's go to Midnight Salem. Someone's actively doing a speedrun. Good for them. Hey, move! Why aren't you working? That's weird. I'm about to do this manually. Dang it! We're gonna waste some time. Me trying to find it. Do 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 do. Da 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 da. I wanna. I'm making note this by series. Sort by title. Oh, this is gonna take a little bit. Bill and Ted, blah blah. At least we're moving forward. I know there's a lot more C games. I should have connected to better internet here, but I was too lazy to go look up the Wi-Fi password, so I took the free internet. This is adding unnecessary time, isn't it? I wanted to get to the speedrun page. Come on, get to the speedrun page. As we're scrolling down to the speedrun page, I want to say that Her Interactive promised a bigger game. With lots of hours of gameplay. And when we get down here, eventually, we're almost there. We're at Madden. We're at the micro stuff. Lots of games named with letter M. There it is! Nancy Drew! Go here. Give me Liberty or give me Death. Where is it? Midnight Salem. Michael beat Argo Fum. This is his real name. He lost 13 seconds overall, but he beat the game in half an hour. The only other Nancy Drew game I know you can beat like relatively fast is Secrets Can Kill, and that's the first game. I'm really thirsty. Alright. Browser can go away now. Goodbye. You were smaller before. I guess not. Alright. So, yeah. They promise longer games, and you can actually beat that relatively fast. Which is a shocker. Because of all the frickin' dialogue. That's how they try and pad the game out. They add insane amounts of dialogue, but if you just click through it quickly, you can totally beat that game quickly. And there's also even a way to skip a conversation that Michael discovered. Kudos to him for finding the Deirdre phone call skipinator. Ah ha 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 ha! Where's Perry the Platypus to destroy it? Anyway, the dialogue is insane, and it's totally just there to pad the game out because otherwise, yeah, you can beat it in half an hour. There's really not that much gameplay there. My browser's still on the screen. There we go. Sitting here, pretending it's a warm sauna. No. Yeah, that's... Now, this is funny, because in the almighty bragging chart they released a few weeks ago as of this recording session, suppose... It's funny, because Sea of Darkness is actually 1 hour longer than this game, in terms of average gameplay. How do you like that? Sea of Darkness, the game that came before Midnight Salem, is longer than the long-awaited Midnight Salem. Ha ha ha! Isn't that just hilarious? That is. Alright. Now, I'm going to actually look at this chart because we're going to go through the chart now. That's not what I wanted. Uh-oh. Dang, I don't have that mailbox anymore. Just kidding, I found it. Alright, 14 characters supposedly overall. Average of 5 and 6 in other ones. Ha! Here's something I was going to mention but I forgot. 2 things. We'll start with this one. In their thing, promising a big, more expansive game, like, there's supposed to be more environments to explore. And when I played the game, I really didn't think there were any additional environments. In fact, I was like, they could probably build this on the old engine and been fine. But, no. And in fact, yeah, according to this whack chart right here, that looks like it could have been made in Microsoft Word, 9 environments is the standard for the other games, older games, and that's the same amount of environments we have in Midnight Salem. Yeah. They added a total of 0 environments. Let's write that down so you remember it. 0. That's not how you draw. 0 environments. Oh my gosh. I know I'm thinking all these random pauses. I'm trying to save my voice because it's already starting to go and it's only, I guess it has been 33 minutes. Alright. Another thing that was on the stupid email that I want to bring up is the fact that it's unusually humid in this room as I look at the thermostat. No. Supposedly there are immutable mysteries in this game. Okay. Let's count off the mysteries. 1. I can draw that too. 1. I need to change that color. I don't like pink. Oh, let's go with... There's not really a Luigi green here, is there? Refine custom colors. That's about as close as we're going to get. Add the custom colors. Give me that one. 1. There. New 1. It looks like 11 now. Fine. Turn that off. And then draw it again. 1. That's a slash. Whatever. You get the point. There's only 1 mystery, at least to my knowledge. And... yeah. Only 1. That's a shame. Why? Where are they getting these multiple mysteries from? They don't even list on the thing what the multiple mysteries are. And if someone can figure that out for me, that'd be amazing. Maybe I can figure it out myself. It's back to the browser. Midnight in Salem. Multiple mysteries. There we go. None of these articles are helpful. Who cares? They attach the word several to mean other things instead of what I wanted it to. Alright. Multiple mysteries, I did that. I gotta think of something else to talk about now. Let's see. This review is far from over. I just need to remember. Maybe the PowerPoint can help a little. We did characters, we did music, we did puzzles. Kind of touch the controls too. Am I done? It's only been half. There's no way I'm done. It's only been 35 minutes, which is already a lot longer than the average review. Let me think. Surely there's something a little more. Music, animation, characters, environments. I did the dialogue. There's the weird thing where it's kind of like you could get Deirdre and Nancy together by having Deirdre admit that she actually kind of likes Nancy. That's a big out of the way thing that you don't really need to do. It just, you mix the truth serum together. There's a truth serum, by the way. Whatever, that's weird. This is a song that didn't actually make the cut into the Nancy Drew games. White Wolf to be exact. It's surprisingly epic. I wonder why it didn't make the cut. Alright. I seriously need something else to talk about. How about the Easter egg? Quote unquote Easter egg. If you remember the Easter egg being literally just, what was it even? It was just a little egg in the plant that you could click on. Nancy would be like, ah ha 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 ha! Found it. Oh my gosh. I am legit gonna lose my voice today. There we go. I take a sip of a drink. That should help. Oh, there was another thing that was supposed to be included, and it was more peril and danger, which kind of falls under the promise for more dying. There really wasn't more peril and danger, or excitement to speak of. I mean, the most exciting part of the game, for me, was the chase at the very beginning, and then nothing really happens again until the very end of the game. Yeah. How do you like that? Well, we might actually be getting close to done for this review. Yeah, we're gonna see if we can get to 40 minutes, so that'd be cool. Towards the end, let's talk about actually the end, like the great reveal. Not really that great a reveal. In fact, you can kind of see, I guess it's not really that much of a surprise because it's like the other Nancy Drew games in the series where the great reveal isn't so much a reveal because the game kind of tells you in advance who the culprit's gonna be. And then there's actually an insane amount of gameplay left after the great reveal. Because after the great reveal, usually you get the letter, and then the game kind of winds down, and then, you know, that's that. Nope, you gotta go to the party scene with the party song right after and talk to all the characters one final time about how the resolution worked out. And there's supposedly 2 endings. I didn't even cover the 2 endings in my walkthrough because, like, why would you do that? Just pick the best ending. I suppose there's other achievements involved with picking the different endings. There's actually maybe 3 in all. But there's only one real ending. That goes to Thornton Hall, except the endings of Thornton Hall are better than this game. Alright, and I think that'll do, actually, for the review. I talked for 40 minutes, basically, almost. Just a minute! Just a stinking minute! I was sitting here thinking, I know I forgot something. What did I forget? And I remembered! I didn't talk about the hint system! Do you remember how amazing the hint system was in Nancy Drew: The Sea of Darkness? Where, as you would progress through things, items on the task list would update with like a little question mark on them, and if you click the question mark when you were stuck, a hint would pop out and help you. After time would pass, another hint would come, and eventually the solution would arrive. Basically, it was a universal hint system built into the game. I loved it. Sometimes it didn't always work, but I loved it. And Midnight Salem decided to just completely drop that concept altogether. Honestly, I don't think there's even a single way to get a hint built into the game naturally. If you're stuck, you gotta either mumble around in the dark for 2 hours, or look at the free strategy guide they gave you if you ordered direct. Why would you get rid of such a useful system? I mean, it's honestly really good. I loved it. It originated as the hint hotline in Nancy Drew the Captive Curse. And then it grew to something more. It was amazing. And that's the extra thing I need to add on. There's probably going to be more of these because I'm just going to sit here and keep thinking and thinking about more stuff to make sure I covered it all. I don't think I did the cell phone either. The cell phone feature, which is amazing in the older games, you could call people, you could take pictures, you could play games from previous installments, and you could personalize the cell phone. So it would have the special things you want, like the different, you could change the wallpaper, you could change your ringtone. If the game had text, you could change the text tone. You could change the sound you hear while you're waiting to call someone. Dial tone, I think is what it's called. I don't even know. And in Midnight Salem, the best the phone is useful for is giving you a very stupid task that doesn't even go into depth of what you need to do. And a phone. And I guess you could look at the text that are auto-generated through the game for no particular reason. There's also, what's it called? Something else. The camera phone that doesn't really work. And that's it. That is absolutely it. I'm not impressed, Her Interactive. Not impressed at all. I think that's it. I'll probably be back in a minute. One final thing that I kinda touched on, but didn't really delve into as deeply as I should have when I was doing the big video was I mentioned in passing about how they added no environments to the game and they probably could have done it on the new or the old engine. It raises the question, did they really need to change engines? Because all they really added was lots of dialogue and really poorly made extra characters. I feel like they could have just found a way to add the new characters into the existing engine. That way there's less, delay between the release of Sea of Darkness and Midnight Salem. And on that topic too, during the transitional phase between when they were working on switching engines, there was zero communications between the fans and the developers as to what the status update was. So we were left in the dark on a lot of stuff, and that really upset several people, myself included. They really could have handled their PR better, or better yet, what they really should have done was kept people working on the old engine. So while another team was working on Midnight Salem, they could have cranked out maybe some other extra games that was not codes and clues to kind of keep some revenue coming in. My first thought would be bring back the third Dossier game that they never finished, Ship of Shadows. They could have released that over the time, and that would have bought them some time and goodwill from the fans, because they could have also released a lot of Dossier games in the period that we were waiting for Midnight Salem. So let's see. Let's do some basic math here. 16 to 20. I was really... Oh, 21. That's 5 years. 5 times 2. They could have put out 10 Dossier games. Even 10 regular games. in the time between when Midnight in Salem was supposed to come out or when it did come out and when they promised, in the 5-year period they could release 10 games, dossier, or normal game. And they chose not to. Hey, bad move. That was a lot of potential revenue you could have been bringing into the company. That's lost forever. Amazing the things you think of when you're just sitting here waiting for extra things to add to this review. There's probably going to be a lot more. I'm probably going to be back here adding extra parts to this video for a good week. Ugh. That's that for this segment. Another thing. This just gets longer and longer. So, I mentioned in passing about the truth serum. What I didn't mention in passing or at all was the pumpkin minigame. Do you remember? It's not even a minigame. You just carve pumpkins in the corner of the museum and can plant them all over the game. And if you do every single one, you get an achievement. And that's the only purpose they serve. In addition, we've got the truth serum, which I did mention in passing, but besides giving it to Deirdre, there is literally no purpose to it. Everyone else is like, yo, stupid! No truth serum actually works. So those are just a couple of useless things. They're not even remotely a little less useless. Yeah. I completely forgot about something that Her Interactive added a few weeks after the release of the game. They had a random patch come out that introduces controller support. Controller support meaning you can play the game with a controller. Can someone please explain to me how you're supposed to play a point-and-click Nancy Drew game with a controller? Please. They even had this great big video about it and had this random girl be like, controller support's awesome. You should totally enjoy it. And I'm thinking to myself, controller support has to be the most useless feature they could add to an already quite useless game. Yet it's here, and it's not really that glorious. I haven't even tried it. Maybe I should try it before saying my opinion on it. Nah! The only other thing I would want to show off is further evidence that they were a fool to get rid of Kevin Manthe from the music. Because Kevin, my good friend Kevin, I actually don't know him. He's responsible for writing this! This amazing song right here. We're gonna let it play. I mean, seriously. When you get someone who can write a masterpiece like this, if you decide to fire them, you are out of your mind. Completely and totally, unconditionally out of your mind. Yet they did it. How do you like that? So all in all, Midnight in Salem? Terrible game. Was not worth the wait. If I was given the choice between playing Midnight in Salem or the Hidden Theft again, I'd pick Hidden Theft, because at least you get to make an aspirin and leave it on my desk by Monday. If I had to give this a rating, oh, easily 2 stars. Easily. Maybe even 1 star. I have to give it 1 extra star, though, because of Deirdre. And actually, it would be a 1-star game. 1 star is my rating for the game. 1. We can draw the 1 last time. 1. And that'll do it for my review on Nancy Drew Midnight in Salem. 41 minutes in all. Thank you for watching and listening to my banter. And I'll see you again in the next video for something a lot more positive. See you guys then.